And they were telling me that was so good that I should become a boxer.
Okay.
And I was saying my average was 75%, which means that I was pretty
The bracioles sometimes have to be beaten to death because they're a little tough. Depends on the butcher you go to. See? So, and not to disturb the neighbors downstairs, although they disturb me, I pick it up and I beat them to tenderize them. Some people put bread. I use the breadcrumb, Italian flavored breadcrumb, on each braciole. Some people put hard-boiled egg in them, usually Sicilian. And you put a bit of salt, just a little bit because the breadcrumb has salt in them. Pepper. And some parsley. I like parsley, so I put lots of it. And from my grandmother, our grandmother, and her style, raisins. Some people can't fathom why you put raisins in braciole. But this is the way we were brought up, the way we enjoy them. It's the way I like them, so I do it. Now, I always preach against minced garlic. However, in braciole, I like garlic sliced, never minced into little pieces. And in the braciole, however, you gotta cut it into small little pieces. Not too much. And then you roll the braciole. And you toothpick it. I've never been good at this, the toothpick part, but I sort of seal it on both sides best I can rather. And that's it. That's one. You want to watch me do the other two also? I mean, it's the same thing. So you can cut. Italian plum tomatoes. And I like to have them whole, and I like to crush them myself with my hand rather than buy them crushed, because I don't know, gives it a better taste. This is what you gotta buy in the supermarket. You get the best deal. I hate the smell of garlic on my fingers because it never goes away. I have to use salt, I have to use lemon, I have to use bleach, I gotta use all kinds of things. So I do my best not to touch the open garlic, as you can see. And naturally I don't mince the garlic, I slice it. Every Italian restaurant I go into, I ask them, do you slice the garlic or do you mince it? And all my friends are all upset that I do that, because I don't like minced garlic. I don't want to eat it. I want the flavor of it. So they all say, are you going to go through that garlic routine again? I said, you're damn right I am, until they get it straight. And I'll tell you the reason why it's minced, because Latin America, where many of the cooks in our Italian restaurants now come from, they are used to mincing the garlic, not slicing it. So that's why New York restaurants are now all mincing garlic, and you can't escape it. We first have to brown the bracioles. And we're using, here's the cover, and there's the pot, Laura Devanzo's Nana's pot that she bought in probably the 1930s. And I know it's aluminum, but it's very, very thick aluminum, and it makes a wonderful, wonderful sauce. So first we brown the bracioles. Now see, they're red. Now turn them over. They're brown. And brown. Now that they are brown, you take them out. Three of them. We lower the gas. To crush the plum tomatoes by hand. Just crushing them by hand. It's just the way I was taught, that's all. Garlic. Some people wait before they put any salt in. I do it now. And pepper. Say they don't get enough flavor out of garlic unless it's minced. I stab it, which brings the flavor out. Poke it. Cento tomato paste. They also have cento tomatoes. And they come from Nola, Italy, which is 1.5 miles from Cimitile, where Laura and Albert Davanzo were born, our grandmother and grandfather. And 2 miles, maybe 3, from Cicciano, where names Anilo and Maria Carmine Capolongo were born in Cicciano. So it's sort of a tomato and tomato paste that's grown close to our roots. Put the tomatoes into the oil, the garlic, the salt, and the pepper, and everything. I throw it in before. Some people throw it in after. I know that. And we mix as we throw in. And now we add the cento tomato paste. You can put half a can, you can put a full can. I think I'll just put as much as I can get out with this spoon. We stir it around to mix the tomato with the tomato paste. You take the bracioles that have been browned and the sausage if you were using that, and the already done meatballs if you were making meatballs too, and you put them in. Make sure they're covered. Now, Italian tomatoes from Italy sometimes are very have acid, and they're very a little on the bitter side. So some people put carrots in the sauce to sweeten it. Some people take the easy way out and they use sugar. Sicilians, which we are not, Neapolitans, they use raisins. Some Sicilians. And since the pot comes from Laura Davanzo, and she's the one that taught me, then I use raisins also. Some raisins in to get the acidity out of the tomatoes. Some people also add pignoli nuts to give it a little nutty flavor to the sauce. I would, but I don't have any left, so I'm not going to do that. Sometimes we lower the gas, and about an hour and a half, that should be fine. Hour and a half to 2 hours. We went to Stu Leonard's, and I saw on sale 2 packages of baby artichokes for $10, $5. 9 artichokes in each package. That's 2 packages for $5. I couldn't resist today, of course, I regret it because I had to make them all. And here they are. Look at them all. They're all stuffed, and you cut the bread, and then you add parsley, you add salt, you add pepper, you add garlic, and you boil the artichokes for 10 minutes. I think I boiled them a little too long. Then you take them out of the water, you cool them, you separate, you open them, and you stuff them with the concoction I just told you, and put them back in the oven for about 20 minutes to a half hour. There's raisins again in here, and bread and parsley, salt, pepper, garlic, and olive oil on top. Save the juice you boiled the artichokes in, the water, sorry, and you put that in the pan and into the oven. As a matter of fact, this one is all dried up, and I kept a little, so we're going to put it in so it's not that dry. And if you think that's a lot of artichokes, how about 5 more? How about 5 more? And if they're too small for your taste, how about these? These are the big ones. There they are. See? Now these, see, they're not as crisp, perhaps, as these, but they'll taste fine. 2004, a good price is $1.99 a pound. Andy Boy, California. Broccoli rabe. And a little history, they used to be known to only the Italian immigrants. But now that the yuppies have gotten a hold of them, the price has quadrupled and even more, because it's become a yuppie dish. You can't eat the entire thing, although some people will try. Some people will take each leaf, like I'm doing now, and cook these leaves with everything, you know, like this, and this they throw away. Other people will forget these leaves and just take the center part. The center part and cook that. So the choice is yours. Some people will use the rest of these. I sort of take some of them, use some of them, and some of them I leave. These two I will leave. They don't look tender to my eye. So I'll just take the center part. And you have to do this with every one that's here on the table. Like this. All right, this looks pretty good. We'll take that. That gets discarded. This, of course, is so big and it's been around so long that you discard that. As you would these two. Okay? These you don't want. So you just take this one and this one. They're pretty good. And naturally, the heart is the best. In the middle of preparing the broccoli rabe, I just remembered that we have to go over here. And it's a good thing I remembered because I can see, look. See how it's boiling? That is much too high. We've got to lower that gas. And then we have to stir to make sure that nothing's sticking to the bottom, thank God. And the sauce is going good. Now is the time that I leave the top a little bit off, like that, so the sauce thickens, okay, instead of becoming soup. Okay. Now they're being washed. Making sure they're clean. No, there's no dirt on the bottom, so they're pretty clean. This is the pot we're going to use because we have 2 bunches. So we're going to cover the bottom of the pot with oil. Olive oil, or extra virgin, regular, whatever. And going to put salt to taste. I sort of kind of know when to stop. Freshly ground pepper. No mincing, slicing. I'm not going to boil the broccoli rabe. I am going to just put it in the sink here in the water, wash it a little more, and then right from the sink into the hot oil. And some people add hot pepper, red pepper rather, to just according to taste. Some people will boil the broccoli rabe first for about 3 minutes and then take it out and put it in the oil. I don't do it that way. I do it right from the water into the hot oil, garlic, salt, and pepper. And again, we poke the garlic to get more flavor out of it. Pick up as much as you can, drip it a little bit, and right away. That's it. Rest in. Cover it up. Lower it. And it should be done in maybe just about 10 minutes. We already had roasted peppers, which I put in the oven, red peppers, and roasted them and peeled them. That. Put this. Sauce on that. There it is, see? That's one plate for one person. This is for Neil. There you go. The bread.
You can make the bread.
Okay, here we go. Now we can eat. A tavola tutti. Or tutti a tavola. Whichever way you want to say.